Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Steins Gate Zero. It is episode 7. And as I said already in the last episode, it seems like the speed is picking up. And yes, it does. So you know what to do. You want to see the reaction? Just go down into my descriptions, replace the link circumflex parts with real... Now I'm confused. Dots? You know what I mean. As always. And enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear me speculate about this episode, because there happened a lot. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. I'm still hyped. I mean, that was so good. I really enjoyed that episode. It was really a nice one. And there's a lot to speculate about, a lot to talk about, because there seem to be some things who are like, yeah, that's the fact, but I don't trust the writers. They tried to screw me. I see it coming. So let's go in one by one. So we started off with the attack, and we once again have a female in leather, as it was in the original Steins Gate, but this time we don't see the face. So as I already said, it's very unlikely it is Moeka. It would still be possible, but on the one hand we wouldn't have the girl in there, because Mr. Brown would never risk her. I said that last time already. And the other thing, it would be kind of too easy, you know? It would be, in my opinion, bad writing of using the same character for the same storyline again. So it has to be someone else, and it was clearly a female. So there are not so many options there. I still am suspicious of the female professor. And the other options would have been the 3 new girls we have in the show. The friends of Mayuri, who she knows from cosplay and the like. So 2 of them had just left. So it is kind of more unlikely it's those 2, although it is still possible. And the 3rd one, and I think it is Fubuki, is the name. And she's the one in the intro as well, by the way. Is one that could be possible. They did not have much of a leading role yet. But I remember, I think it was Fubuki who said she's interested in AIs. So that gave her at least a little bit more background. So she might be. We see her later on, and she doesn't join in later on with the others because she needs time, and they realize that her arm is injured, and it is exactly the same arm that was used to block the kick from Suzuha. So it would make sense. It is her, and everything points for us who have this information, points to her. But as I said in the beginning, I don't trust the writers. They tried to screw with me. So I see, I hear you, but I don't ignore the option that it still could be the female professor, who was nothing at all in this episode, by the way. So I still see both options. Or someone completely unknown, but the way that Steins Gate was used, written till now, they do use characters we already know. So I kind of guess it's one of those 2 girls still. The other thing that points to that it has to be someone they know is the fact that she did not talk. And that was pretty clear for me. So she just gave signs, but she did not talk. Like grab the girl or stuff like that, you know? So it is very likely that when she would have been talking, the people in the room may have recognized her voice. Which once again speaks for the 2 females I just pointed out. Because in the one case it would have been Mayuri who would have realized it, and in the other case it would have been Maho who would have realized the voice. So then they use the K6205, as a phrase, which was already analyzed now. So interestingly enough, it might be an Amadeus thing. They didn't point out when they researched what it stands for. So it would have been interesting to see if in the Köchel, good question, what is it in English? In German it is Köchel-Verzeichnis. The list where those things done by artists are written into. Number 620 is from Amadeus Mozart, is the one they named, and they are going for the interlude or for the part number 5, and that is one that is widely known, I guess, and interpretable. So it would have been nice to see what it stands for, or what the idea of it is, and if it is something like I don't know, like a moment which is meant to be very aggressive. I don't know. I'm not completely sure what they meant. Or if they're just taking numbers and they just learned them. You know, 6205 means grab a girl. No clue. So still waiting. Possibly there's more. However, it is interesting that, at least the show points it out, it is very likely they use Amadeus von Mozart's music to give themselves orders. And thus our AI is named Amadeus. That cannot really be a coincidence. I mean, there might be a coincidence, but it's very rare that those two would meet up there. So, seeing that at the same time Amadeus was turned off and no one can reach it anymore, and that we got like a rescue request in the end from Amadeus, there has to be a connection. The question is, which one? And nope, I still have not much of a clue here. Then we have Mr. Brown to the rescue. So that's really cool. I mean, we know that he is an experienced, let's call it undercover agent. He is a bear of a man, no question there. He is strong as heck, and you can see it here that he is well trained in melee combat. So he's able to block those guys, to push the weapons away and the like. So he's pretty experienced, and as far as I've seen, those attackers are not as experienced. Not at all. Not saying they are completely inexperienced, but they seem to have no proper training. While the woman leading them was at least able to block the hit from Suzuha. And she... You know, she blocked it completely. It was not like that that she hit her head while doing so. Normally, if you have a kick to the head and you just hold the hand there, it possibly would have enough force to still punch you with your own hand there. But she did block it, so I guess she has the power to push it against, which means she has some serious melee training. Still, her arm is hurt, no question there. So I'm looking for clues in the next episodes if maybe the female professor has some melee training as well. Just saying. Yeah. The big question then was, and they already answered it, what do we do now? How do we react to what just happened? In multiple ways. They have to secure Gina before something bad happens. Sure, one thing. And it's very likely that whoever started the attack will try it again. They want her. They need her, possibly. I mean, they went in guns blazing in Japan, which is not a country where it's normal that people run around the streets with guns. So, it's a risk which they took. So, they will be there again. There is always the chance that someone else gets hurt, which is how they convinced Mr. Brown. So they try to keep her partially hidden in the temple, where she's pretty well, at least, defended by cameras. I mean, they wouldn't defend her health-wise bodily in the temple, but they possibly wouldn't go in because they could be recorded. And when you attack a temple, a shrine, that's always something different, so possibly the police would make more of a fuss about it. and then they try to kind of install bodyguards. In this case is Mr. Brown and Suzuha mainly. A good one. I was kind of surprised that Ocarina was going to Mr. Brown and completely opening up, except for the time travel. So he told him to the nose, I know who you really are, I know who you work for, I know who your subordinates are, in the case Moeka, you know. And I trust in that you want to protect your daughter so much and you want to minimize risks that you will not kill me now. Because that could have very likely happened there. I mean, we have seen how he reacted in the original Steins Gate when his plans went sour. He made Moeka kill herself and he killed himself as well. So that was that could have gone bad, seriously bad there. But it was a risk taken, and in this case, it paid off. We had Ruka finding out more and more about the truth, although she still doesn't know all. I cannot say that I really realized that Suzuha was calling the others uncle or big sister and stuff alike. Maybe I missed it, but if so, then it was very sublime, very unnoticeable, or maybe it was not translated. Might be as well. In this episode, it was clear to me. I mean, you've seen my reaction at the moment when she called Ruka big bro. That was like, wow, you made a lapse there. You know, you made a mistake. You realize it if you're working with someone or living with someone and he or she starts calling you completely unlogical things. Why would you call someone big brother who is, as far as I know, right at this time younger? So there was the first lapse I realized, really, but it seems like it happened before. So Ruka is kind of on the trail and asks for being in the plan, understanding what the heck is going on. She wants to join in the meaning of not that she needs knowledge, but in the meaning of others seem to be worried, and she's empathic. She wants to help. She wants to join in the problem in the hope to lift the burdens of others. So I completely understand her there, and I like that he wants to do that. So agree on that, but I see the point of Suzuha there as well, who says, and I try to translate it generally, that Ruka is kind of like a cornerstone for Ocarina in the real world. So he already drew more or less all of his friends into his problems, into the timeline problem, and at least one friend he can make stay outside of it. He can have a normal life, a more or neither problem-free life. So I see the point there that he doesn't want to have Ruka involved as well. I can see that Suzuha thinks so as well. I like the fact that she understands it and explains it even more, although that gives Ruka even more clues right now. Yeah, so finally we had the talk in the in one of the cafes where we realized the thing was their arm. I will skip that. I already discussed it. We have a very short glimpse on a TV where it's mentioned that there's an earthquake in Russia. And I mean, it's getting a bit too much by now with those short glimpses. There is multiple natural disasters happening. And I mean, I ask myself really if they have anything to do with the storyline. We will see. And then we have Amadeus in the end, calling for help. So we know that Amadeus is kind of gone, possibly taken away. Maybe it's in the secret lab that the professor has. We are still waiting for that one. But Amadeus makes a call, and the call is not going to Maho. although there may be one as well. But the call is going to Ocarina, which is interesting. Why does Amadeus call Ocarina directly? You could guess that there is like an emotional connection by now. Maybe that's why. However, it is Amadeus calling for help. Very unspecific. There's no clue in what does it mean. And then we have a reading Steiner directly at it. So, welcome to Free Speculations. I say Amadeus is somehow used for a timeline shift. We had in the past for the D-mail and for the jumps and everything, there was always a computer involved. You needed the power to calculate, and you needed the phone calls to do something. So into the past, you know. So they are using Amadeus for it. How is the question? I mean, I've no clue. I still completely understand still do not completely understand the whole time travel thing. And then we have the scene after the credits. So Ocarina is alone, which means timeline was massively changed. And we have even more. We have Marquise Kurizu standing there. She's supposed to be dead. So someone changed her death. Who would? And why? What is in it for you? Why do you need it? I mean, we can be pretty sure it wasn't Maho, although it might be possible, but I think we can be pretty sure. It is very likely it's persons we know by now. If it would be just a timeline change, then it could be like CERN or another similar organization. But bringing back Marquise Kurizu from the dead, so undoing her death, means it's someone who is howsoever related to her. And we know two other persons who are. It's both professors, the male and the female professor. So that's the interesting question. Is one of them trying to undo her death, and why? If you're connected to the whole idea around Amadeus, and the fact that Marquise Kurizu's work is a major part of Amadeus, and someone wants to, let's say, improve Amadeus in its efficiency, then you would need her there to make it even better. But it's very unclear still. So she is, let's say it's her, she's back. But all this time now will be missing for Ocarina. He does not know what happened since the death of her, because he just replaces the Rintaro in this new timeline, whatever timeline it is. And seeing that every other timeline normally led to the death of Mayuri, you have to ask yourself, is she still alive or not? And then we are back in the original problem of Steins Gate. One of them has to die. So there's a lot of trouble coming for us in the next episode. I really look forward to it. And for the moment when Rintaro realizes that Mayuri might be dead, and if not, what the heck is this timeline now? We will learn and see, and I really look forward to it. So that's it for now. I hope you liked. I did for sure. It was a really good episode, with a lot of speed in it. And until the next time, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.